Cub fans admiring the Ernie Banks statue at the corner of Clark and Addison as they head on into the ballpark. We are live from Wrigley Field as the Cubs host the Houston Astros. Game 2 of a 3-game series here on Comcast Sportsnet. And hi again, everyone. Along with Bob Brenly, I'm Len Casper. Another hot one, wind blowing out, and another DL move today as Alfonso Soriano goes on the shelf with a quad injury. Bob, the outfield keeps changing. Tony Campana getting an opportunity in center because of the injuries to Bird and Johnson. He's making the most of it.
He definitely is making the most of it, Len, and it's a lot of fun for us to watch and for the fans to watch. Tony Campana bringing something to the Cubs that they haven't had since the days of Juan Pierre, a guy that can actually steal a base. He was just off to the races in the ball game yesterday, stole 4 times in very limited playing time. He's made his presence in that lineup felt, also playing a really good defensive center field.
The 4 steals in a game, the first Cub to do that since the aforementioned Juan Pierre back in 2006. And with the Soriano DL stint, it is Tyler Colvin coming back from AAA Iowa. It'll be Carlos Zambrano for the Cubs, and Bob, this will be his final start in his 20s.
He's going to be an old man after today. Zambrano has faced the Astros so many times over the course of his career. You see 32 games, 30 starts against the Astros, including one earlier this year. He did give up 5 earned runs in 5 2/3, but his offense scored 9 runs for him. He got the win in that game.
Jordan Lyles will be the youngest major leaguer to make his major league debut in this park since Zambrano did.
Well, and the reports on Lyle, very calm, very poised, very mature beyond his years, and he's going to need it to pitch at Wrigley Field in his debut.
20 years, 224 days old, right-hander Jordan Lyles. Well, the Astros got the best of the Cubs yesterday with a 12-7 decision. Big Z will try to get the Cubs back in this series and even it up next.
West Indiana Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. 75 years of being right here in Illinois means no one's closer to your wellness. Experience wellness everywhere. Subway. Every day at Subway, choose from many delicious regular footlong subs for just $5. Subway. Eat fresh. Honda. Visit your local Honda dealer today or go to shophonda.com and find great values on a new Honda. AT&T Uverse. Find out more of what's possible at att.com. AT&T. Rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates.
It's hot once again as summer has finally arrived, and we want to congratulate the Northwestern women's lacrosse team. They beat Maryland on Sunday 8-7. Junior Shannon Smith with 4 goals and tossing out that first pitch, lacrosse style. And the Wildcats have now won 6 of the last 7 NCAA titles.
Dynasty. They own the game.
Wind blowing out again as Carlos Zambrano will face this Houston Astros Southwest starting lineup. They scored a season high 12 runs yesterday. Michael Bourne will start it. Clint Barmas and Hunter Pence went back to back. First time the Astros had done that this season. Carlos Lee in left. Jeff Keppinger with a 3-run homer. It's Brett Wallace at first. Chris Johnson at third. Robinson Cancel gets a start behind the plate for Jordan Lyles.
Get your pencils ready. Different lineup today. Blake DeWitt in left field. Tony Campana in center. Kosuke Fukudome over in right field. It'll be Ramirez and Castro on the left side of the infield. Barney and Pena on the right side. Giovanni Soto with his second game back off the disabled list will be doing the catching tonight for right-hander Carlos Zambrano, our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher. See the numbers for Big Z on the season. I'll tell you, the way things have been going lately for the starting rotation of the Chicago Cubs, you look forward to the starts by Ryan Dempster and Big Z because you feel like those are the 2 days of a week you've got the best chance to win a ball game. Big Z hoping to slow down this Astros offense.
Tomorrow he will turn 30. And in Cubs history, before the age of 30, going back to 1900, only Ed Rohlbach and Fergie Jenkins with more wins as a Cub before turning 30 years of age. Speaking of ages, we'll have the 2 youngest players currently in the majors performing tonight. Starlin Castro, who was the youngest major leaguer, 21 years old. And now Jordan Lyles is the youngest at 20 years, 224 days.
Jordan Lyles is used to it. He was the youngest player in AAA at the age of 19. Making his major league debut here at Wrigley tonight. I saw the fans down the right field line helping Jordan Lyles with his warm-up pitches down there in the bullpen. I'm sure that was a great assist to him.
We are underway. Ball 1 on a sinker to Michael Bourne. Next pitch by Zambrano is hit down the left field line, and it twists out of play.
Well, we anticipated an offensive day yesterday, and it certainly turned out to be one of those. And tonight probably figures to be more of the same.
Mike Winters is the crew chief at second. See Chris Guccione in his 5th year on the full-time major league staff back of the plate. 80 degrees and a southwest wind at 8. 2-2. The wind has maybe changed direction a couple of times. That American flag twisted a little bit around the top of that pole. Swing and a miss. Good start for Z. Another day, another guy going to the DL. Left quad strain for Alfonso Soriano, and Tyler Colvin, after a couple of weeks at AAA Iowa, is back. He'll be somewhere in the lineup tomorrow. Blake DeWitt getting the start in left tonight after a strong performance yesterday. Well, that trainer's room is packed these days. The good news is Soriano's injury should be just a 15-day situation. Does not appear to be overly serious, but definitely serious enough for him to go on the shelf. Barmas skies down the right field line, and Fukudome will make the catch for the second out. How about that, Bob? Going back 9 days. 5 Cubs have gone to the DL, including a bunch of outfielders.
Well, you have to take a number to get on that DL now, and here you see the players who were not on the opening day roster but active and ready to play in the ball game if necessary tonight.
Hunter Pence, red hot, and another base hit for him. That's a 12-game hitting streak for Hunter Pence. And that is his 4th hit already in this series.
Hunter Pence has been a guy throughout his career that looks like he wants to pull the ball every at bat. But in the first 2 games of this series, we've seen him do exactly this, go to the opposite field. And when Hunter Pence is doing that, he is capable of running off some long hitting streaks.
He's now 16 for 34 when he puts the first pitch in play. Carlos Lee has had the upper hand in this matchup with Zambrano. 377 and 5 home runs. You see a lot of at bats against Zambrano.
61 career at bats before tonight. The really surprising thing is only 7 strikeouts against Big Z.
Mr. Lee not too thrilled with those first 2 pitches. Tries to gather his thoughts here as Pence takes his lead off of first. In the dirt, and it gets away from Soto. That'll be a wild one on Zambrano.
I mentioned second game back off the disabled list for Giovanni Soto. He had only 2 minor league starts on his rehab assignment, and he's looked a little rusty back there behind the plate. Just did not get the mitt in a good position that time. Ball hit him on the inside of the left leg and got far enough away for Pence to advance.
Backhanded, Starlin Castro, and he gets him. 2-out single, a wild pitch, no runs. The Cubs will face Jordan Lyles in his big league debut when we come back. Kosuke Fukudome in the leadoff spot. Darwin Barney at second. Double play partner Starlin Castro in the third spot. Carlos Pena cleaning up, mainly because Mike Quade wants to separate the lefties in the lineup. So Ramirez hits fifth, DeWitt in left, Campana in center, and the battery is Soto and Zambrano.
Take a look at the Astros Suzuki defense. El Caballo, Carlos Lee in left, Michael Bourne in center, Hunter Pence over in right field tonight. Johnson and Barmes on the left side of the infield, Keppinger and Wallace on the right side. The only change in the lineup for Brad Mills tonight is the battery. Jordan Lyles, the pitcher, throwing to Robinson Cancel, the catcher.
That is by design, as Lyles with his first major league pitch. And it's a fastball at 89 for a strike. Robinson Cancel caught 6 of Lyles' 10 starts at AAA. So Brad Mills wanted to have a familiar guy behind the plate for a 20-year-old making his major league debut. Cancel with not a ton of major league experience, but it does go back a long, long way. He made his major league debut in 1999. Didn't get back to the big leagues until 9 years later. And there's more to the story. 3-1. In the offseason, Robinson Cancel played for Ponce in Puerto Rico for manager Pat Listash, the Cubs bench coach. Said he had a really good year. Carlos Lee drifting back and makes the catch to retire Fukudome.
And for Jordan Lyles on the mound, we mentioned very poised, mature beyond his years, we're told from people close to the Astros. It was a fastball, a cutter, a curveball, and a changeup.
He's from South Carolina, and he has about 20 to 25 family members and friends. Those are his parents who made the trip from South Carolina for this series.
Lyles actually had a really good spring for the Astros. He was in competition for that number 5 spot in their rotation. Had a 1.98 ERA in 5 spring training outings, but they felt he needed a little bit more work on his breaking ball, specifically the curveball. So started the season in the minor leagues. He was their minor league pitcher of the year last year.
And he's in the rotation because Wandy Rodriguez, with a left elbow injury, is on the DL. 3 balls, no strikes on Darwin Barney. In terms of scouting a guy like Jordan Lyles, you do get reports. You talk to people in the organization who have seen him pitch. But AAA Iowa has not yet faced Oklahoma City, the Astros AAA affiliate. Their AA affiliate, where he was last year, not in the same league. They're in the Texas League as the Cubs. So a lot of guys on this roster, if any, have ever faced Jordan Lyles. Little bobble, but Brett Wallace will get to the bag in time.
Yeah, you try to gather as much information as you can from your minor league system, from players on your roster that maybe have faced him at some point in their careers. But really the best scouting report you can get is if everybody sees a lot of pitches their first at bat of the ball game. You look at that arm angle. What kind of movement does he have on his fastball? Can you pick the curveball up out of his hand quickly? Does he slow down when he throws his changeup? Those are things you can find out by seeing a lot of pitches. Starlin Castro only needs to see one.
And he is in at second and on his way to third. He's going to get there as Keppinger dropped the throw from Pence. A 2-out triple for Castro, the 2 youngest players in baseball. And Castro gets to Lyles for a 3-base hit.
Looked like there might have been just a little bit of indecision on the part of Starlin Castro as he approached second base. It looked like he was getting ready to slide, break it down, and stop at second with a 2-out double, but then stretched out his strides, turned the corner, and made it all the way to third base. Right there, had to reach out a little bit with that right foot to catch the bag at second, but slides in without a play at third.
2 outs, and it's Carlos Pena who hit a home run yesterday. Looked like the Cubs were off to the races. They got 3 in the first inning. As he pops it up, Armas is out. Lee will take it, and that's the inning. 2-out triple, no runs. So the butterflies are huge in his stomach, but Lyles gets through the first unscathed. time with Cubs in-game live only at CSNChicago.com. Brought to you by Honda. Nothing, each team with a 2-out hit in the opening inning. Jeff Keppinger recently off the disabled list. Looks at ball one. He had a big day yesterday. 3 hits, including a double, a home run, knocked in 4 to tie his career high. He's reached base 7 of his 14 plate appearances this season, coming off left foot surgery. Three and one. Brett Wallace and then Chris Johnson for the Astros here in the second.
Boy, real tough for Jeff Keppinger to lay off of a high fastball. He's a good high fastball hitter. In the 3-1 count, he's looking for that fastball where he likes it. He gets it, just a little underneath and tardy.
Darwin Barney. Throw him out. Watch the Cubs take on the Astros tomorrow at 1:20 here at Wrigley Field. Be sure to arrive early. The first 10,000 fans will get a Cubs watch. Compliments of Juicy Fruit. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Big swing by Wallace. Nice piece by Jerry Krasnick from ESPN.com about Wallace, who likes to watch video of other hitters, even right-handed hitters like Albert Pujols and A-Rod. He's always looking for ways to improve, say, his 2-strike approach. And those are the kinds of things, Bob, that it doesn't matter if you're a righty or a lefty. You're a hitter.
Certain things translate regardless of which side of the plate you happen to stand on. I think it's a great way to go about honing your craft. Look at the guys who have had success. Try to emulate what they do at the plate within your own physical style of hitting. A little cooler in the bleachers tonight.
I would say not as hot would be the better way to put it. It's still pretty warm, but yeah, it was hot yesterday. Had a good time out there.
And I wanted to thank a gentleman who lives right here in the Wrigleyville neighborhood, a guy by the name of Kurt Brown, who let me borrow his Sharpie marker. As you know, Len, we were signing autographs out there most of the day and didn't have a Sharpie.
Blue base hit for Wallace. Speaking of a 2-strike approach.
Most hitters will try to stay inside the ball a little bit more with 2 strikes, not be so concerned with pulling. Just try to get the bat on the ball and hit it somewhere from gap to gap. That time Wallace got jammed a little bit, but because of that approach to stay up the middle of the field, he was able to float that ball out into center for a base hit.
It's Chris Johnson, the third baseman. And it takes a fastball just outside for ball one. He chomping on that gum as always. It's a called strike. 15 wins against the Astros. He's only beaten the Reds more often, 16 times, and the 15 wins against the Astros are the most among active pitchers. But he's been around for so long, but it's still strange to think he's going to be 30 tomorrow. Z was 20 years, 80 days old when he made his major league debut. Nice note from Elias. And the Astros Sally Gunter for digging out this information. Tonight, Jordan Lyles becoming the youngest player to make his big league debut as a starting pitcher at Wrigley since it was Zambrano back in August of 2001 versus Milwaukee. He was the first Cub born in the 80s to make his debut. Little swinging bunt. And a throw that bounces away from Castro as he was trying to get that lead man, Wallace. He had an easy play at first. That'll be an error on Gio. And instead of 2 outs, there are 2 on with only 1 out.
Just a little tapper out in front of home plate. Soto was down on a knee to block that ball, but he gets to it quickly, decides to try to get the lead runner at second base, and apparently just did not have a good grip on that baseball. It's a terrible throw down to second. Castro tries to pick it out of the dirt while keeping that left foot on the bag, just can't make the play.
So a fielder's choice for Johnson and the error on Soto. The Cubs have committed 4 errors already in this series.
I mentioned earlier, Soto just looks a little out of sync, a little rusty perhaps. I mentioned only 2 rehab starts at the minor league level. That's his second error in 2 days.
Now it is Robinson Cancel, brought up over the weekend to replace the injured Humberto Quintero, who suffered an ankle injury in a home plate collision on Friday with Ryan Roberts of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Mentioned he played winter ball for Pat Listash, and here he is back in the big leagues. He made his debut with Milwaukee in 1999 and did not reappear in the majors until 08 with the Mets. Pop foul right side, and just behind the Astros bullpen.
You would assume Cancel is a real good double play candidate if Big Z can throw a ground ball up there.
Gets the ground ball. Castro with the flip to Barney. Relay throw, not in time.
Well, what a great effort. Starlin Castro from way behind the bag at second. That's almost a blind turn and throw by Darwin Barney to try to get Cancel at first base and avoid the runner at the same time. And Cancel able to leg it out. Clearly beat that throw to first.
Did you pour over the offensive scouting report of Jordan Lyles?
No.
All right.
Well,
what you got here on that first take? How did he look?
He looked good. I know he was a pretty good hitter in high school, but a while ago. Even for a 20-year-old, high school was a while ago.
Castro barely got him at first. Bobby Meacham didn't think so. Brad Mills is going to come out and argue as Lyles almost beat it out for an RBI hit. As it is, the Astros stay off the board and strand a couple.
Lyles legging out that ground ball to the left side. Clearly gets the foot down on the base before Carlos Pena receives the throw. Got an argument from first base coach Bobby Meacham as well as skipper Brad Mills, but Corey Blazer with the out at first base to end the inning and keep the Astros off the board.
He'll take his final warm-up tosses. And while he does, Bob, we want to wish the very best to our good friend Mike Wong, the editor of Vineline, the Cubs official monthly magazine. Mike is moving on to other opportunities. And we hope he's not a stranger and comes back to Wrigley Field a lot. We're going to miss you, Mike, but we wish you the best of luck.
Absolutely.
Strike on Aramis Ramirez. Drives that ball out into deep right center. Michael Bourne will get to it as it hits the base of the wall, and Ramirez has a leadoff double. And Aramis in the 5 spot tonight, in among the left-handed hitters.
Got a fastball up and out over the plate, stayed right on it to center field, just didn't get enough elevation to take advantage of that wind that's blowing straight out, but as it is, a line drive double off the base of the wall in center.
Here's Blake DeWitt. Gets his start tonight after coming in for the injured Soriano yesterday and pounding out 3 hits, including an RBI triple. Tyler Colvin is available off the bench and will be in the lineup somewhere, according to Mike Quaddy, tomorrow. Just not quite sure which outfield spot. He can play all 3. 0-1.
And now with Tyler Colvin on the roster, the Cubs also have a legitimate backup first baseman. He doesn't have a lot of reps at first base, but Tyler Colvin, you may remember back in spring training, took a lot of ground balls, got some playing time at first base.
There's Colvin chatting with the guy he replaced on the active roster, Alfonso Soriano. DeWitt able to hold in time as Lyles was bidding for his first career strikeout. Lyles, the 4th current Astro to make his major league debut here at Wrigley. Brett Myers, Wandy Rodriguez, Bud Norris. All members of that pitching staff made their debut here. This will not get that runner to third as Barmas will make the one-handed catch.
Hey fans, visit the newly renovated Captain Morgan Club right here at Wrigley Field with more than 30 flat screens, an expanded menu, and an outdoor patio atmosphere. Make it your place to catch all home and away games. The Captain Morgan Club, your neighborhood pet-friendly headquarters and destination place. For more information, including specials and private party options, call 773-404-4750.
Campana with a ground ball to second base. Keppinger will get him by a half step. Well, you know Campana makes every infielder nervous when he hits a ground ball.
While we have a moment, let's take a look at our Coors Light freeze cam from the ball game yesterday. Blake DeWitt with a strong throw to home plate. Giovanni Soto, both feet pointed straight up that third base line, has enough time to brace himself for contact there at home plate. Man, with all the catchers going down on collision plays at home plate, it was good to see Gio get up from that one. Freeze cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And for a catcher, it's always easier getting that throw from left field. That's when you really get a good view not only of the ball coming toward home plate, but also that runner coming down the line at third. On throws from right field, you're not always exactly sure where that runner is.
Soto got hit on the left hand by a pitch yesterday, but is good to go today. Just a little swelling kind of below the pinky finger, the fat part of the hand, so to speak. Rather get hit there than a bone. Ground ball. And it's Johnson ranging to his left, and Lyles works out of it. Runner at second, nobody out. The Cubs cannot cash in. Scoreless from Wrigley at the end of 2. High speed action. A couple of flyovers, so to speak. The Eagle, Challenger, right? And the F-18's flying over in the middle of the ball game before heading back to San Diego. Very impressive.
Yeah, both very impressive.
Bourne struck out swinging to open up the ball game. Got a nice note from a good friend who's watching the game in high definition. Says Wrigley looks like an impressionist painting. With the light from the sun still splashing across the outfield. Buildings in the background. Nothing better. A pop up behind second base, and it's going to be caught by Barney for the out. Want to see a Cubs game from the front row at Wrigley Field? Now you can. Visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE front row seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long. Don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE front row seats auction today. That's a fair ball by Clint Barmas, who I thought had the biggest hit of the game yesterday, Bob. The Astros were down 6-3, hit a 2-run homer in the 5th. That made it a 1-run game, and then the Astros would tie it on the Pence homer and really not look back.
Slider up high in the strike zone. Most big league hitters don't miss those mistake breaking balls that are up around the letters, off speed. You see the ball pretty well, and that time Barmas able to keep it fair down at third baseline.
In his pregame meeting with the media, Mike Quade hit on something that I think is absolutely right. The key for the Cubs in getting this thing turned around is consistent starting pitching. Cubs have used 9 starters because of the injuries, as Pence will bounce foul. You just can't sustain any sort of winning streaks, and the Cubs have not won more than 2 in a row without consistent starting pitching. You just can't, unless you're the 27 Yankees offense.
Yeah, you're scoring 10 runs a game, then maybe you can overcome some struggles with your rotation. Certainly the return of that man, Matt Garza, soon, and Randy Wells making his second start back off the DL.
It's knocked down by Castro. Barmes held up. It'll be a hit for Pence, who's 2 for 2 and hitting hard shots all over the place.
Yeah, Pence seeing the ball really well right now. He's right on everything. Just a scalded sinking line drive right at Starlin Castro, who tried to play it off to his left side a little bit.
And it will be an error, not a hit. Second error for the Cubs. Low to Carlos Lee.
I mean, it did look like Starlin could take a half a step to his left and get in front of that ball, but if you've never gotten in front of a sinking one hop line drive, it's not the most appetizing thing you want to do. And because it was on a short hop, I think Starr thought he could pick it cleanly.
Barmes will tag and head to third as Kosuke retires Lee.
Ball hooking and sinking off the bat. You see how he turns his body sideways and tries to pick it cleanly on a short hop. And we've seen Starlin do that many times already this season. Play the ball off to the side, pick it cleanly, and throw across for the out. But that time hit the heel of his glove and got away.
These two teams have committed their fair share of errors. First and third, 2 outs. Outside, ball 1 to Keppinger. Special happy birthday wish goes out to 96-year-old May LaRue, lifelong Cub fan from Beaverville, Illinois. Never misses the Cubs.
And another happy birthday wish, a 9th birthday wish for Michael Patterson. His nickname is Knuckles. I don't think I'd mess with Michael Patterson on the playground. When you've already got the nickname Knuckles at 9, you may have a future in boxing.
Rolled to Barney. Inning over. The Astros have stranded 5 through the first 3 innings. Still waiting for the first run tonight. On GMC Sportsnet Central. Coming up tonight after post-game live, a full Major League recap plus reaction to tonight's game from the Cubs clubhouse. Join Mark and Pat for GMC Sportsnet Central tonight after post-game live, only on Comcast Sportsnet, fans' best friend. Well, I was right the first time when I said a hit for Hunter Pence. No error for Starlin Castro. And Pence is 2 for 2. For posterity, we'll give you one more look at it. It was hit hard.
That's it, though. Don't change it again. I've changed it twice in my book now. That's enough.
Okay.
I'm running out of eraser.
Two and 1 on Carlos Zambrano at 4 hits in that Mets series, including 3 in his last start. 3 for 3 with a double, an RBI, and a run.
Now, the odd thing this year for Big Z is he's been a better hitter from the right side of the plate. Throughout his career, he's been a much better left-handed hitter as he chases an off-speed offering up out of the zone. 4 strike 3.
First career strikeout for Lyles.
Now, coming into play tonight, Carlos was hitting .462 as a right-handed hitter, .273 as a lefty, and his 1 home run on the season came as a right-hander.
This done a really nice job in that leadoff spot. Behind 0-2.
That's a pitch Lyles was really working on a lot in the bullpen before the game today. That backdoor breaking ball to a left-handed hitter, trying to drop it on that outside corner, get the lefty to quit on it early. Try to get some late movement back to the corner. If you watch an opposing pitcher warm up in the bullpen here at Wrigley or at any ballpark where you have a vantage point that you can see what he's trying to do in his warm-up session, they'll pretty much tell you what they're going to try to do in a game. Lyles got to the point where he was loose enough to start throwing his breaking pitches. He just rolled some up there in the middle of the plate, and then as he got more and more loose with the breaking ball, he had Robinson Cancel sit on that outside corner to a lefty and just tried to drop curveball after curveball onto the outside corner.
Count filled up 3-2. The wind and the pitch lined at Barmes.
Number 15,
Buzzard luck for Fukudome. Did everything he could do. Worked a deep pitch at bat. Got a good ball to hit and lined it unfortunately right at the Astros shortstop.
Couple more notes on Lyles' youthful age. 20 years, 224 days. He's the youngest Astro since Cesar Cedeno. Back on June 20th, 1970, 19 years, 115 days. And the youngest starting pitcher since Larry Dierker made his debut on his 18th birthday in 1964. Arnie hustling, but is thrown out by Keppinger, and that's the first 1-2-3 inning for the young Lyles. Astros and Cubs scoreless at the end of 3. meal from Taco Bell, open 1 a.m. or later. Ball one, the count on Brett Wallace, who's 1 for 1 tonight. 4 hits for Houston, 2 for the Cubs, and that is hit high and deep to right and gone. A home run, Brett Wallace. That's his 4th of the year. And for the Astros, their 5th of this series. It's 1-0.
For Zambrano, the 6th home run he surrendered this year. Pitch was up at the top of the thighs, right in the middle of the plate for Brett Wallace. 4 or 5 rows back into the bleachers in right field.
Strike to Johnson. Broke his bat as he lines out to Ramirez.
Fortunate that he did break his bat. If he squares that ball up, it probably shoots past Ramirez into left field, but when the bat breaks, the ball doesn't come off the bat nearly as fast as it normally would. That gave Ramirez an opportunity to stretch out to his left and make the catch.
Houston near the bottom of the majors in home runs going into this series. That homer by Wallace, just their 34th of the year. Just by way of comparison, the Yankees have 80 leading the majors.
Well, I'm always shocked to hear that the Astros aren't hitting home runs. Their home ballpark, where they play 81 games a year, should be a homer haven from left center field around to the foul line and left as Cancel goes down on strikes.
Bob, we didn't get a chance, or I didn't get a chance to talk to him. I don't know if you did, but just great to see Marlon Byrd back around the batting cage. He has been very limited, hasn't been able to do any baseball activities after suffering the multiple fractures in his face. No timetable in terms of his return, but just good to see him back in uniform.
I had a chance to see him briefly in the clubhouse. As you know, Marlon is always in a hurry to get to one place or the other, and today was no exception. Walked past in the clubhouse, asked him how he was doing. He said he feels fine, and off he went.
And obviously we'll talk more about it as his return nears, getting past the physical part of it, but there has to be a mental component as well. That's a very scary situation, but getting right back up on that horse is something I'm sure he's very eager to do, so to speak. Wallace with a leadoff home run, and the Astros strike first in the 4th. Infield dirt. Between innings tonight. That gets us into our AT&T trivia question. True or false, you've got a 50% chance to get it wrong. No Cub has led the NL in steals over the last 7 decades.
I'm going to go with false.
The name Lou Brock comes to mind. I'm going to say false as well. I am wrong, by the way, on Lou Brock. He led the league in caught stealing back in 1964, splitting the year between the Cubs and Cardinals, but only stole 24 in 63, which was the year he played the most games with the Cubs. Still just a little sun creeping through the tunnel. And that's a reflection at that. 1-2 pitch. Castro stays alive. Arizona will go into its game tonight against the Florida Marlins, having won 7 in a row. They have a half-game lead on the Giants in the West. They're the first team ever to have sole possession of first place in its division since divisional play started in 1969. In the month of May, after starting May 6.5 out, Castro swung and missed and then argued with Chris Guccione maybe that he got a piece of that pitch.
It's that curveball. You see that 12-6 rotation ball breaking straight down toward the dirt. Castro actually catches Robinson Cancel on the side of the mask with his backswing. No call at all from Chris Guccione, which indicates it's a live ball. Cancel went to pick it up and tagged out Castro for the out.
So again, Arizona going into May 6.5 out, and they're in first before the month ends. First team to do that. Pena grounds out. Also, the Rockies, Bob, were 17-8 at the end of April. 4.5 games up in the West. They've gone 8-20 in May, and they're now 4.5 out. A 9-game swing in the standings over the last 4 weeks. And they're in Los Angeles tonight.
The Rockies over the last 4 or 5 seasons have been that kind of a team that'll muddle along and you wonder if they're ever going to get it going, and then they'll crank off a month where they win 20 games, get themselves right back into contention.
Giants without Buster Posey and only 2 teams over 500. You never thought the Diamondbacks would be one of those 2 teams, but they are. Great thing about baseball.
It just seems so odd to me tonight. In this ball game tonight, we talked about Jordan Lyles, an unknown quantity. The Cubs have never faced him before. They don't have much of a book on him. And one of the most patient hitters in the Cubs lineup, Carlos Pena, has seen 2 pitches and made 2 outs.
Ramirez popped it up, and that's a 9-pitch inning for the rookie Lyles. He nurses a 1-0 lead to the 5th.
5-3. If you're the 500th texter, you could win $5 footlong subs from Subway.
This is Michael Bourne leading off an inning for the third time. Foul straight back. Well, some teams just have other teams' number. Brewers have the Pirates' number. The Pirates have the Cubs' number. The White Sox have the Red Sox number. Chicago's won 11 of 13 against the Red Sox, and they lead 10-1 in the seventh at Fenway tonight. Remember, the Red Sox were the hottest team in baseball.
Got the Agostino's number, speed dial. Talk about having a number.
Yeah, you do. You have the Agostino's number. Slice down the left field line, foul. Was there a team in particular for several years stretch when you were with the Giants you just could not beat for whatever reason? I mean, the Brewer Pirate one is remarkable. I mean, it's gone for several years.
Nothing jumps out at me without looking back over the statistics of that time period, but I don't recall any domination one way or the other of a particular team. I'm sure there were seasons where the series swung heavily one direction or the other, but over a long period of time, I don't recall.
By the way, speaking of the Pirates, Ryan Doman, who suffered the ankle injury here over the weekend, and Steve Pearce with the calf injury, they've both gone to the disabled list. And one of the guys called up, infielder Josh Harrison, former Cubs farmhand. He was sent to the Pirates in the Tom Gorzolani deal a couple of years ago. So congrats to Josh Harrison. As Bourne strikes out for the second time. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Okay, true or false as we revisit the AT&T trivia. No Cub has led the NL in steals over the last 7 decades. We both said false, but it's true. You have to go back to Stan Hack in 1939, 17 steals. Was that the slow era in baseball?
It must have been. Yeah, the bases must have been further apart or something.
Yeah, live ball, and apparently the slow era. 17 steals leading the way.
For some reason, I was thinking Eric Young back in 2000. I think he was in the 50s, and apparently not. He did not lead the league, but for some reason I thought maybe he was up there.
Barmes bounces to Castro, who gets him. I'll tell you, if Tony Campana spent the rest of the year here, and that's up for debate at this point, he would challenge for the NL lead. I don't think there's any question about that. Up and in on Hunter Pence. Cubs led the NL with 61 steals, 1939. Let's see how many home runs they hit. '91 home runs. In 156 games. Chopped up the middle. Castro behind second. Throw to first. What a play by Pena. They get him. Castro with a range at second, and Pena able to keep his foot on the bag as he received that bounce throw. We're the press box bums right now, David. Thank you.
Multi-purpose bums.
Jordan Lyles hasn't given up a run through his first 4 major league innings. Who's going to get this one? Nobody. Farmers kept looking for help, and Lee couldn't get there. Drops in no man's land for a Bloop double. Blake DeWitt. Cubs with 3 hits, all extra base knocks.
Well, we know El Caballo's not in there for his glove, but this is a pretty feeble effort on his part. He gave up on it early and then tried to accelerate and get in there and make the play. Picks it up, drops it. That allows Blake DeWitt to turn the corner and end up with a leadoff double.
That was Lee's ball all the way. Let's see if the Cubs can take advantage. Campana lays down the bunt. Barehanded pickup. Johnson, they get him on a nice play. DeWitt is at third with 1 away as the Cubs now have a chance to tie it up.
I'll tell you, even on a sacrifice bunt when he's thrown out at first base, Tony Campana creates excitement. He makes every play close at first. Any mishandling, any errant throw, and he's going to beat it out.
It's up to Soto now to get that guy in with less than 2 outs.
Gio saw a lot of breaking balls in the game against the Astros yesterday. First pitch curveball right there. That's kind of the conventional wisdom when you have a guy coming back off the disabled list that hasn't seen a lot of live game pitching. Most of the swings he's taken are in batting practice against a straight fastball. Challenge him with as many breaking balls as you can throw. Looks like they're going to come in with a fastball here.
Infield in, inside corner, perfectly placed. That's almost an unhittable pitch. And if you do make contact, you're probably going to bounce it right off your front foot.
Right on that inside corner.
And he got him. Kind of a textbook sequence there by Lyles to get Giovanni Soto. He needed a strikeout and he got his third.
Curveball to start the sequence. That fastball spotted perfectly on the inside corner, and then another breaking ball leading Soto right out of the strike zone. Lyles not out of the woods yet. He's got to deal with Carlos Zambrano.
Everybody back except Johnson at third. Curveball misses outside. Z struck out in the 3rd inning. Changeup, 1-1. A lot of times you'd rather not speed up a pitcher's bat, but Carlos Zambrano is a hitter. He can handle a fastball. Johnson without room. He almost got it. Not going to get any help from the home dugout. Somebody in that dugout actually reached up and said, "Here, Chris, do you want it?" Let's see who it was.
And once you get to that railing, it's kind of tough to make any kind of an adjustment. Yeah, it looked like Dempsey's the guy that picked it up off the floor and tried to hand it to Chris Johnson.
That had to be him.
And once you bump up against the railing right there, it's kind of hard to make an adjustment if that ball's a little short or a little longer than you expected.
Dempster and Rodrigo Lopez made his Cub debut yesterday and got a no decision. 2-2 on the way. Tapper foul.
Big Z not so sure that ball was going to stay in foul territory. It was rolling up that runner's lane on the way up to first base. I think Z was afraid it was going to hit the edge of the grass in foul territory and maybe roll back toward the first base line. So he went ahead and ran on down the baseline just to be sure.
swing and a miss. Be careful, Z. Just smashed the bat over his knee. Another leadoff double wasted. Still 1-0 Houston.
The Cubs Club, the official fan club of the Chicago Cubs. This year's Cubs Club features a new bleacher crew tier and an improved marquee tier. Members will enjoy exclusive perks, experiences, and merchandise throughout the 2011 Cubs season. There's never been a better time to join, rejoin, or give fellow Cub fans the gift of a Cubs Club membership. To join today, visit Cubs.com.
Never boring watching a Carlos Zambrano at bat. And even though he's turning 30 tomorrow, you still get a little bit of this, which is just not a good idea.
No. With a bruised quad muscle, took 2 tries to break that bat, scattering toothpicks all over the infield. Kind of looked like a scene from Rain Man when Dustin Hoffman's character saw the toothpicks on the floor and knew exactly how many they were. There's toothpicks all over the infield right now after Big Z broke that bat over his knee.
1-1 to Carlos Lee, whose power, as he's going to fly out to Blake DeWitt, has I wouldn't say disappeared totally, but has gone down a lot over the last 2 seasons. 1 away. Well, he used to be one of the most feared sluggers in this league, and that has not been the case the last couple of seasons. Jeff Keppinger lines out. Watch Comcast Sportsnet game replays on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Wallace with a home run to lead off the 4th inning. The only run in this game. Milwaukee leading at Cincinnati 6-2. They're in the top of the 7th. In that one, Corey Hart, Jonathan Lucroy with home runs for the Brewers. And Chad Reineke getting the start for Cincinnati. 3-1. Going into action tonight, Milwaukee 21-7 at home, 8-18 on the road. That's a strike. So Milwaukee with the second best home record in baseball and the second worst road mark. Wallace chased a high fastball as Z needs 10 pitches to work through the Astros in the sixth. Still 1-0. And Patrick Show on Comcast Sportsnet. Tune in as Dan talks sports with your favorite athletes, celebrities, and sports media personalities. Get your sports day started with a Dan Patrick Show weekday mornings from 8 to 11 on Comcast Sportsnet. Cubs trail 1-0 on the Brett Wallace home run. Top of the order here in the sixth against the guy making his big league debut, Jordan Lyles.
I believe Brad Mills is really pleased with the effort he's gotten from his young starters so far in this ball game. I don't think any manager is ever quite sure what you're going to get out of a guy making his major league debut, but 5 shutout innings.
Bouncer right side. Lyles getting over quickly, gets the toss from his first baseman Wallace, and they get Fukudome, who's 0 for 3.
Not an easy play for Jordan Lyles to get over there and cover the bag, because Brett Wallace has to make the overhand toss. There's always a little extra gas on that overhand toss as opposed to that nice soft underhanded flip that leads you to the base, but Lyles able to stay with that one for the out.
Lyles has been pretty efficient. 61 pitches through the first 5 going into this inning. And a 2-0 count. He hasn't walked anybody to this point. In fact, no walks in this game. Starters have combined for 9 strikeouts. He's 3-0 on Darwin Barney. Not the first 3-0 count he's had.
Well, unfortunately, not enough of the Cubs hitters have given him the opportunity to fall behind 3-0. A lot of early pitch hacking, which is something we've seen from Cubs offenses not only this year, but in recent memory. Just overly aggressive against unfamiliar pitchers.
3-1 swing's going to result in a fly out to right for Darwin Barney. The new Bud Light Bleachers Series provides fans with exciting new opportunities in the Bud Light Bleachers this season, including free T-shirt Mondays, $3 12-ounce draft Bud and Bud Light Tuesday nights like tonight, and $1 Vienna Beef Hot Dog Wednesdays. Tuesday night special also available in select locations in the Seating Bowl. For more info and to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Castro pops it up.
Man.
And it's Keppinger to haul it in. A 3-hit shutout for Lyles through 6 in his debut. 1-0 Houston.
On defense, a couple of nice plays here. Number one, Starlin Castro going up the middle, throwing off balance, and a great play at first base by Carlos Pena to keep his foot on the bag while stretching way out to the right field side of the bag at first. Boy, this is a real art for first baseman, the ability to keep your foot on the base while the rest of your body's trying to corral an errant throw, and Pena does it as good as anybody in the National League.
Pitchers duel here through 6. We start the 7th. That's the 90th offering from Carlos Zambrano. Jordan Lyles, 69 pitches through 6. 47 for strikes. Breaking ball in there against Chris Johnson. Israel Adonijah, Bears defensive lineman, will conduct Take Me Out to the Ball game tonight. Right now, a Brett Wallace leadoff homer in the 4th is holding up. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Number 6 for Zambrano.
He's starting to change speeds a little bit here as we get deeper into the ball game. That slider to the front door that time gets the swing and a miss from Chris Johnson. Not the location he was hoping for, but definitely the result he was looking for.
Oh, and 1 to Cancel. All right, Bob, if you're Brad Mills, you obviously are sticking with your guy Lyles, who's been over 100 pitches on several occasions in the minors. Now he's only 20. You're not going to take any chances, but he's thrown upwards of 109 pitches in the minor leagues. Back-to-back Ks for Z to start this inning. It's 1-0. You want a kid like Lyles to feel great about his major league debut, but right now there really is no decision, is there?
No, I mean, what you ask yourself as a manager, is there anybody in that bullpen that I like better than the guy on the mound right now? And Lyles has done absolutely nothing to cause his manager to lose any faith in him. He's dominated this ball game. The Cubs have certainly done him enough favors in this game, but I think he's going to stick with the kid as long as he possibly can tonight.
Third at bat for Lyles. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Comes number 101 from Z. And a base hit, the first major league hit for Lyles. Astros want the baseball.
Lyles just trying to protect the plate. Big Z throwing that sinker just off of the outside corner, cues it off the end of the bat. And just through the right side past two diving infielders. You could see how shallow Kosuke Fukudome was playing, but no chance to throw on to first. Big Z was coming over from the mound. That'd be a very dangerous play.
Pena leaves his feet. Nicely done. Israel Adonijah of the Bears coming up with a stretch.
Lineman Israel Adonijah.
All right, Cubs fans, let me hear you. A 1, 2, 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, and it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Let's get some runs.
Great to have with us our good friend, and it's not the first time he's done this, but still a little nervous. Everybody is when they sing
Right.
Israel Adonijah of the Chicago Bears. First of all, congrats on a wonderful season.
Thank you.
I think everybody in Chicago enjoyed the run thoroughly. And secondly, and this is timely, Winnipeg has NHL hockey again. Did you hear the story? The Atlanta Thrashers were purchased, and the team's going back to Winnipeg. Now, you grew up in Manitoba.
Jets fan.
Is it going to be the Jets? They don't have a nickname
It's got to
yet.
be the Jets.
The Winnipeg
if it's in
Jets.
Winnipeg, it wouldn't be right if they weren't the Jets.
I have a feeling that the second time around, the NHL will do very well in Winnipeg.
Right. Yeah, we can't wait.
So good to see you here, and it's not hockey weather, it's baseball weather finally.
It's beautiful. Look at this environment, this atmosphere. You can't beat it.
Carlos Pena will lead it off. Ramirez and DeWitt will also bat against Jordan Lyles at 20 years old in his major league debut, working on a shutout at this point. We see Carlos Pena, Bob, pulling the veteran move here, making Lyles wait a little longer. Missed the changeup. 1 strike.
Well, Israel, your path to Soldier Field in the NFL was not like a lot of guys. I mean, I would imagine there were times very early on you were doubting whether you were ever going to get a chance to play in the NFL.
Absolutely. From a small town in Canada, you know, hockey country. So, you know, it was being in the NFL was a long ways off.
How did you keep pushing yourself? I mean, you know, playing on taxi squads and just waiting for your chance.
Right, a lot of good people, a lot of good coaches in my corner, and just opportunities. A lot of people believed in me, even when I didn't believe in myself, and been very fortunate.
Yeah. You've earned it.
Thank you.
1-1 to Pena. There's one swing away from tying this game, and the wind is blowing out. A high fly ball, not going to carry. And it'll be Pence, who took a look at Michael Bourne and still had time to recover and make the catch.
A little miscommunication out there. Center fielder usually takes everything he can get to, but that time Michael Bourne kind of peeled off and let the right fielder Hunter Pence make the play. He wasn't expecting to make the play, but a couple of extra steps there right at the end gets him underneath the ball for the out.
Speaking of Winnipeg, you have a key to the city, correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you carry it around in your pocket? Or?
Yeah, well, it doesn't get you anything or get you in any doors.
You know, I'd love to take a trip. I've never been, and I'd love to go up and see the Blackhawks and the Winnipeg whatevers, probably the Jets.
Yes.
Had a chance to go to Vancouver in October to spend some vacation time and had to go to a game there, and I love going to NHL hockey in Canada.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and when you make that trip, let me know. I'll make it down with you.
All right, that
Watch
sounds good.
Manitoba guy, you know, Tage.
You know all the right places to go. But if I go in like December or January, you have to get out the snowmobile or something.
Right, we could do it. That's not a problem.
Here's Blake DeWitt with 1 on and 1 out. So I think the question everybody has right now, and we're expecting you to give us a definitive answer. Are you going to be playing on time this season?
I believe so. You know, I believe, you know, everything that everyone in the game has said is, you know, respect for the game, what the game means to this country, to its people. I mean, you gotta have football. You know, so if you're staying in line with that, come the end of July, we'll get a deal done, and we'll be playing come September 9th.
And as most negotiations go in any realm of life, it always comes at the last minute.
Right.
Whatever the deadline is, it'll go to the 11th hour.
Exactly. So, I mean, right now nothing's really been lost except for a few practices, and no real money's been lost to anybody. So I think when it comes down to it, I mean, the owners, players, everybody, the business is very successful. Let's not even risk the momentum we have. So we'll get a deal done.
DeWitt pounded that one foul on the ground.
So what do you do with yourself right now? You have a little downtime?
Stay busy.
Stay busy?
Yeah, just working on some projects and staying busy with my charity, and, you know, just kind of, it's an opportunity to look at life after football. You know, what do you want to do? And you know, it's a blessing in disguise in that respect. Now you can kind of, along with while you're still training, but now you have an opportunity to say, you know what, if I wasn't playing, what would I be doing?
And tell us about Izzy's Kids, your foundation.
Right, we've just finished up a great event at the Shed Aquarium. We had 270 kids to tour the shed, and we had a big gala to celebrate their academic success. And yeah, just another opportunity to help these kids and show them that their academics is a way to get out of their situation and become successful.
Another fly ball. This time it will be Michael Bourne. And that's the second out. Well, we've seen you here at Wrigley a fair amount. We mentioned a hockey connection. Did you get down to the UC to catch the Bulls at all in the playoffs?
I did. I did. It was incredible. You know, man, we were there. You know, it was ours. I mean, just what an incredible city. Just sports in Chicago, period. But just real proud of what those guys were able to accomplish. And they're going to do some really big things coming up.
Tony Campana with Ramirez at first, 2 outs in the 7th. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Should give a plug for the CSN March of Dimes dinner. You've been honored as the Bear of the Year, and what a great event that is every February. There's a lot of money for a great cause.
Right, huge. And yeah, I was just fortunate to be even a part of that. They do some incredible things, helps some young lives.
All the pro sports teams get involved here in Chicago, and televised on Comcast Sportsnet. And always honor an athlete who has overcome a lot of health issues, physical problems, and it's a tear-jerking moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's very emotional, and just when you look at the honorees, it's just the things that they overcome to become successful or to inspire and touch lives. It's just, man, it's you know, puts things in perspective.
Guy at the plate, Tony Campana, has battled through adversity in his life, diagnosed with cancer when he was 7 years old. And you know, he doesn't take any of this for granted. This is his 6th consecutive start, and he's worked a 3-1 count. He doesn't look like he could play football, but I think he's fast enough.
Well, football's a game of speed, so if he's fast, you know, then you know, we could find a spot for him.
He's the fastest Cub in a long time, I can tell you that. It's knocked down by Barmas, and that's the inning. Israel Adonijah, always a pleasure, and we do hope that you'll be back and playing on time come the fall.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Enjoy your summer, okay?
Hey, thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Get an insider's look at more than 97 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today.
Getting late. Both starters still in there. Jordan Lyles has been just a little better than Carlos Zambrano to this point, as he's been excellent. 1 run through 7, but so far it hasn't been good enough. Lyles hasn't given up anything, just 4 hits, no runs.
Wonder about missed opportunities. You mentioned only 4 hits given up by Lyles, but 2 of them were leadoff doubles. Ramirez in the 2nd inning, DeWitt in the 5th. The Cubs were not able to push that run around and get on the plate.
Now we should say that even though he's a 20-year-old kid making his big league debut, the Astros, the GM Ed Wade, their manager Brad Mills, they can't be totally shocked that he's pitching well. He went into the season as their top prospect according to Baseball America, and he was their minor league pitcher of the year last year. So at some point they were going to count on him heavily, but here he is making his debut at the end of May and has pitched a gem to this point. Slicing fly ball that'll be caught by Campana.
Lyles comes as advertised. We talked about it at the top of the show. Astros people talking about him being mature beyond his years, very poised. And he certainly has been that tonight.
2 hits for Pence. Little slip by DeWitt. That's the 2nd time Blake has slipped playing left. Used to running on the dirt of the infield.
Yeah, I was just going to say that there's a big difference between playing on the grass of left field, especially here at Wrigley where it's taken a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks, or playing on that dirt where you can be pretty sure-footed. That grass gives way quickly. Fortunately, Blake DeWitt able to make the adjustment. Plenty of time to make the catch.
Carlos Lee, base hit left center. Pounced on that first pitch and gives Keppinger a chance. And we'll see Jason Michaels pinch run for Lee and stay in and play left. That's one of those moves, Bob, where Jason Michaels isn't that fast, but he's faster than Lee, which is all that matters when you're pinch running. Campana on the move. He'll make the grab, and the inning comes to a very quick end. 8 pitches for Z in the 8th. Only 6 outs to go. Cubs trail by only a run. In after pinch running for Carlos Lee. Jordan Lyles can look at the bullpen and see nobody up, although that apparently is going to change. I spoke too soon.
They must have heard you.
Yeah, Wilton Lopez will get up. You kind of have to. It's only a 1-run lead for Houston. Things can change quickly as Soto swings and misses and is down in the count 0-2. Tyler Colvin's going to hit for Zambrano. He's on deck. Colvin just back from AAA Iowa. In for the injured Alfonso Soriano. Fastball missed. Escalona got the win in relief yesterday. He's the lefty. Lopez is the right-hander. Still 1-2. Not as if the Cubs have not had opportunities. 2-out triple by Castro in the first and leadoff doubles in the second and the fifth, Ramirez and DeWitt, but the Cubs could not take advantage. Close, but ball 3. It's full. The pitch into the left field corner. Michaels will get it off the wall as Soto will have a leadoff doubles. There's another one.
Cutter catches way too much plate for Lyles, and Soto makes him pay. Roped that ball down into the left field corner. We're going to see a pinch runner at second base for Giovanni Soto, since that represents the tying run.
And it's new dad Brad Snyder. Congrats to Brad and his wife Susan, who gave birth to their new son Gavin Michael. 7 pounds 2 ounces, born yesterday in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Got to move him here somehow. You wouldn't expect Tyler Colvin to go to the plate and put down a sacrifice bunt, so looking to pull that ball to the right side of the field and move Snyder up to third base. Oh, he is going to bunt.
Throw goes to third, gets away into left. Snyder is going to try to score. Here's a throw by Michaels, not in time. It hits him, and Colvin ends up at second. So they have tied it at 1, and the go-ahead run is in scoring position with nobody out.
Perfect bunt by Tyler Colvin. Ill-advised attempt by the youngster Lyles to get the lead runner at third base. I believe his catcher Robinson Cancel was pointing at first to take the sure out. Lyles decides to try to get the lead runner. The errant throw gets into left field. Cubs tie it up.
Fielder's choice for Colvin, who gets a sacrifice and an error on the pitcher.
Subtle move, and absolutely the right move to pinch run for Giovanni Soto in that situation. Not so sure Gio would have been able to score on that play once the ball was thrown down the left field line. But Brad Snyder able to get to his feet and outrun the ball to home plate to tie it up.
Lyles was fantastic tonight. It's a big hand from his mom and family and friends. It's a Honda call to the pen. Lefty Sergio Escalona coming on in the 8th. Sergio Escalona, who got the win yesterday in relief. Scoreless inning, got his first win as an Astro. First win since his major league debut in 2009. That's when he was a Philadelphia Philly. Talked about it yesterday. The Astros have lost 8 games after leading into the 8th inning. This would be another one of those if the Cubs can complete the comeback, as Kosuke pulled the bat back. Colvin able to get back to second on Cancel's pickoff attempt. 1 ball, no strikes.
Big secondary lead by Tyler Colvin. He wants to make sure if Fukudome gets that bunt down that he's able to advance on to third base.
This time the throw will go to first. I don't want to speak for you, but in this spot, I think the one guy in the lineup you want at the plate is at the plate. Darwin Barney, runner at third, 1 out. In a tie game late, and it will not be Escalona to face him. It's going to be Wilton Lopez, it appears.
Well, an obvious sack bunt situation. Brad Mills burned his only left-handed pitcher in the bullpen to serve up a sack bunt to Kosuke Fukudome.
So it will be Lopez who comes racing in. The Honda call to the pen brings on Wilton Lopez. Only inherited 3 runners, and 1 has scored on the season. Last year, nobody was better. He was 32 for 33. Infield in, Colvin the runner at third, a tie game, and it's Darwin Barney at the plate. Here we go. Ball 1. Yeah, you should have a much better record than that.
Absolutely. I mean, that just speaks to the issues that the Astros have had at the tail end of that bullpen. It's been a revolving door.
2-0. A walk here for Lopez is not the worst case scenario. That would set up a double play opportunity. Just by way of comparison, the Cubs are 15-3 when leading into the 8th. And a drive for Darwin Barney, deep left center, off the wall. Colvin will come in. Barney's going to stay at second with a double. It's 2-1.
Second at bat in 2 days for Darwin Barney against Wilton Lopez. He grounded into a fielder's choice yesterday. Today, gets himself into a good hitter's count and bangs one off the ivy out there at the 368 mark. No doubt about that one. Perfectly placed gapper. Michael Bourne crashing into the ivy as that ball ricocheted back toward the infield. And Darwin Barney realizing he's in scoring position with one out. No sense taking a chance trying to get to third right there.
And now Zambrano, who was on the hook for the loss, can get the win. And Lyles is on the hook for the loss. Castro waves at a slider. We will see the closer Marmol in the ninth. Pop-up back of the plate. Cancel got there, and it went out of his glove. Tried to make the basket catch near the bricks. Could not haul it in. That'll give Starlin another chance.
Tough play for the catcher. Cancel wasn't popped that high in the air. A little slow getting back to the barrier. We reached out there at the very end, tried to make the basket catch and protect himself against the bricks, and wasn't able to hold on. New life for Castro.
At the end of the bat, foul, out of play. Olchino and Rodriguez. It's Fernando Rodriguez. And he got him. Strike three.
Sinker that just continues to run further in. That ball was never in the strike zone. Starlin Castro definitely in swing mode. Once he gets to two strikes, he's ready to chase just about anything that the opposing pitcher offers up.
They will intentionally walk Pena to get to a Ramos Ramirez. This hasn't happened a whole lot, Bob, has it? Teams walking somebody to get to Ramirez, but as you said, lefty already burned in the bullpen. So Brad Mills will go with the righty matchup instead of righty lefty here.
Ramos Ramirez 1 for 3 lifetime against Wilton Lopez with a single and a strikeout. For Carlos Pena, that's his second intentional walk in 2 plate appearances against Wilton Lopez.
Houston will have Wallace, Johnson, and Cancel due up against Marmol in the ninth. Fair ball. They're going to add some insurance. Barney scores. Pena's going to be stopped by Ivan De Jesus. 3-1. Third hit for Ramirez. He makes him pay for the intentional walk. Boy, double city. That's a third double of the inning. The 5th of the night for the Cubs.
A notorious first ball hacker, and Ramirez gets a pitch he can handle and rips it past Johnson down into that left field corner.
Big extra run. And Brad Mills coming out. And is going to make another change. He wants Rodriguez. Be the 4th pitcher of this inning for Houston. On to call of the pen. 3-1 Cubs, and they're not done yet. For the Buck in this inning. They've made 3 pitching changes here in this inning. On the call to the pen, it's Fernando Rodriguez. Cubs with 5 doubles in this game and a triple. So without a home run, they've been able to take the lead here 3-1. I would imagine Tyler Colvin will stay in the game and take over for Blake DeWitt in left in the top of the 9th. Colvin pinch hit and laid down that sac bunt on which the Cubs scored the tying run because of a throwing error by the pitcher. Swing and a miss by DeWitt.
Turn of events for young Jordan Lyles. We talked about his poise out there on the mound, and certainly he displayed that throughout the game while he was on the mound. But once he got off that dirt bump, tried to field a bunt, the game started to speed up incredibly for him. Threw that ball away down the left field line, giving the Cubs an opening.
Only the 3rd major league appearance for Rodriguez. Nice catch by that fan. Major league debut back in 09 with the Angels. And this is his 2nd appearance with the Astros. And his contract selected from AAA Oklahoma City 13 days ago. A bouncer to Keppinger. That'll end the inning. But a 3-run 8 gives the Cubs a 2-run advantage as Carlos Marmol will try to close them out in the 9th.
Strikeout totals. Nearly unhittable once again this year.
Here we go. It's Brett Wallace who hit the homer in the 4th inning for the only Astros tally to this point. Ball 1. Similar rally for the Cardinals tonight in the 8th. Trailing 3-1 to the Giants. They got 3 runs to take a 4-3 lead, and they're still batting. Pujols double, a Craig double, a Schumacher single, all knocking in runs. Drilled in the right for a base hit. Wallace is 3 for 4.
And 2 for 2 lifetime against Carlos Marmol. Not many left-handed hitters get to that slider, but that one stayed pretty much in the middle of the plate and down. Wallace with a lot of top hand, really buggy whips that ball into right field for a base hit.
And tight to Johnson.
Chris Johnson against Marmol, 0 for 2 lifetime with 2 strikeouts. Take that right now, or a ground ball right at somebody.
Didn't bite on the slider. And it's 2-1. Pop foul to even it up. Marmol with a career 1.10 ERA against Houston in 37 career games. 2 wins, a loss, and 7 saves. Down the right field line. And fair. Right field corner. And the tying runs are in scoring position. I'll tell you, Bob, about 80% of the days we've had the first 2 months, that ball gets pushed foul, but the wind kept it fair.
That ball is naturally going to slice off the bat of a right-handed hitter. You can see that slider up and out over the plate. Trying to slice down that right field line, but the wind kept pushing it back into fair territory all the way down in the corner. Man.
Matt Downs will hit for the catcher, Cancel. Trying to snap an 0 for 13. 3 hits in the pinch in 11 at bats. Inside, ball 1. Single and a double to open up the 9th. Slider for a strike. Just in case, Mark Melancon is up in the Astros pen as we check out that borderline strike 1. Fair ball, they're going to tie it. Matt Downs off the bench, and now they have the go-ahead run standing at second with nobody out. A pinch hit, 2-run double. Can't tell you the last time we've seen Carlos Marmol give up 3 consecutive hits.
Slider just kind of rolling up there tonight. That one stays over the heart of the plate. Downs finds that left field corner, driving home a couple of teammates. Ramirez with a dive, just can't get there quickly enough. All 3 hits here in the inning have come on the Carlos Marmol slider, just not as sharp as we've seen it in the past.
Angel Sanchez in the pitcher's spot. Well, this was 1-0 in the 8th inning. Now it's 3-3.
Sanchez definitely up there to bunt. 5 sack bunts on the season, leads this Astros ball club.
For Marmol, it's his 3rd blown save. Hard bunt, and the throw has to go to first. So a successful sacrifice bunt. 1-4. Runner at 3rd, 1 away.
That ball was bunted hard back to the mound, but because Marmol falls off to the first base side of the mound, by the time he recovers and gets to the Sanchez bunt, no opportunity for a play at 3rd. Just take the sure out at first base. And we'll roll around to the top of the Astros order in Michael Bourne, who presents a special challenge in this situation. He can bunt for a base hit. Cubs will have their infield drawn in. Try to slap the ball through the infield. Could possibly see a suicide squeeze from Brad Mills, even though he doesn't usually like to use the bunt that often. But it wouldn't be out of the question for Bourne to try to bunt on his own.
First blown save since April 20th against the Padres. It's only the 3rd time this year Marmol's given up any runs in 23 appearances. The infield is in. They pitch out just in case there was a squeeze play. Nothing on as Downs was not running. Dave Clark.
He's having trouble seeing Brad Mills in that first base dugout. He looked like he was going to walk all the way over to the first base dugout to get Brad Mills' attention. Now goes through a set of signs.
Off the corner. And a base hit, and the Astros get the lead back. After the Cubs scored 3 in the 8th, the Astros respond with 3 in the 9th. And now you got to worry about Michael Bourne at first base.
This is just almost unheard of with Carlos Marmol on the mound. He had surrendered only 12 hits in 23 innings this year, and the Astros have sent 5 batters to the plate and have 4 hits.
He had allowed 3 runs in his first 22 appearances and has given up 3 tonight. And with that, Sean Marshall is going to get ready quickly. Time called as Michael Bourne has to tie his left shoe at first.
Is that a tip off that he might be running? He wants to make sure his shoes are good and tight before he tries to steal a base. I'm sure Marmol and Coyle will keep a close eye on him over there.
Bourne not only tied for the NL lead, tied for the major league lead as well. Got to believe he's going to be ultra aggressive with his team already leading. In fact, a little bit of a lean right before Marmol fired over.
Obviously great speed with the 19 stolen bases, but he picks his spots well too. He's only been caught twice this year. Not running, they pitch out.
2-0. There he goes. He knew they wouldn't pitch out, and he just beat the throw by Hill. He knew the Cubs weren't going to go to 3-0, and he grabs his 20th steal of the year.
And nothing more Coy Hill could do on this one. He gets rid of the ball quickly, throws it right on the money, was even cheating a little bit, what we call for a catcher, starting to turn his upper body and lean into the throw before the ball even got there, put it right on the money. Michael Bourne with just too much speed.
I think Mike Winters could have flipped the coin on that call. It was that close. Meanwhile, 3-1 to Barmes. And he walked him. A rare off night for Carlos Marmol. He's already been touched up for 3, and he's got to face a deadly hitter with runners in scoring position, Hunter Pence. Couple of singles for Pence, who has stretched a hitting streak to 12 games. And including tonight, he has a major league leading 28 hits with runners in scoring position.
Well, needless to say, we've seen a lot of Hunter Pence over the years playing for the Astros, but this is as locked in as I've ever seen him at the plate. 4 for 17 lifetime against Carlos Marmol, but really you can kind of disregard those numbers when you get a guy locked in the way Pence is right now. Got to make good pitches.
Fly to deep left, and a 3-run homer. Hunter Pence makes it 7-3. And that'll be it for Marmol. Boy, a guy who doesn't give up many hits, and he doesn't give up home runs either. That is the first homer he's allowed since May 15th of last year. And it's time for the Honda call to the pen. 7-3 Astros. As Sean Marshall is on, Bob, I took a look back. Jeff Clement was the only guy to get to Marmol in terms of a home run last year, left-handed hitter with the Pirates. That was May 15th. Tonight, Hunter Pence, the first right-handed hitter to hit a home run off Carlos Marmol since Holbert Cabrera of the Cincinnati Reds on September 6th, 2008.
Wow.
So he had not allowed a homer to a righty in 2 consecutive seasons, and then 2 months into this year. Bases cleared, a 1-0 count on Michaels. Sounded like he cracked his bat as he hits a 1 bouncer to Starlin Castro. Throw in the dirt, dug out by Pena. 2 away.
I was surprised to see Sean Marshall in this game. I know he was warming up when the problem started for Marmol initially, and it was still a close ball game. But once the Astros put that 7 spot on the board, took a 4-run lead, thought Mike Quaddy might save Sean Marshall in the hopes of using him with a lead tomorrow. But nobody warming up in the bullpen. Sean Marshall, the only guy loose and ready to go, so he's going to come in here and get the last 2 outs in the ninth.
2-0 to Keppinger. And a base hit. And he's always been good against lefties. We talked about the Astros and Cubs when leading into 8. The Cubs had previously suffered just 1 loss going into the 9th. 19-1. This one's not over yet, but they trail by 4. Furthermore, on Carlos Marmol, since he went into the Cubs bullpen, this is the most runs he's ever allowed. Previously in 2008 against the Giants had allowed 5 runs in a relief appearance, but never 6 as a reliever. This is something that we haven't been used to seeing. He hasn't been used to experiencing, and I don't think he wants to again.
No. Just didn't have his good slider tonight. Wasn't able to locate his fastball when he did fall behind in the count with the slider. And the Astros really made him pay. Sometimes you can get away with mistake pitches. You throw that fastball down the middle of the plate. We see it all the time. Guys pop it up or hit it on the ground, or you roll a slider up there in the middle of the strike zone, and guy will swing over the top of it, hit a ground ball. But they did not miss any of his mistakes in the game tonight.
Three and 2. A 5 hits allowed by Marmol ties his career high in relief. And the 5 hits he allowed in Atlanta on June 10th of 07 came over 2 1/3 innings. Tonight just got 1 out. Barney will take care of this one. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th. It has been a crazy couple of innings. 7-3 Houston. Game Live. David Kaplan, Todd Hollinsworth break down the game and preview the Cubs' next matchup. Don't miss Coors Light Cubs post-game live with Cap and Holly immediately following the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Fans' best friend. New battery, Tolles to catch. Melanson to pitch in a non-save spot with his team leading by 4. 3 in the 8th for the Cubs to take the lead. 6 for the Astros in the 9th. Talked about starting pitching. The Cubs got it tonight. Carlos Zambrano in 8 innings gave up just 1 run. But it was the normally unbeatable Carlos Marmol. As Campana's thrown out by Barmes.
What a momentum killer this is. The fastest guy on the roster leading off the bottom of the 9th inning. You're hoping he'll work a deep at bat, find a way to get on base and possibly set the table for a big inning. Instead, he grounds to shortstop on the first pitch he sees. And when that happens, it almost forces the number 2 hitter in the inning to take until he gets a strike. Melanson knows that full well out there on the mound, so he pumps a strike in there to jump ahead of Coy Hill 0-1.
Righty coming back on a 1-1. A ground ball to Keppinger. 2 outs. The producer of Cubs baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is Bob Albrecht. Our director is Dave Turner. Our associate producer Tamara Anderson. Our stage manager in the booth Christine Charbonneau. Our TD, our technical director Joe Vinci. Our tech managers Mark Harper and the senior executive producer Jim Corno Jr. Great work by our entire crew, as always, here at Wrigley Field. It's up to Colvin now. First game back from the minors. Ball 1. Sacrifice fielder's choice bunt. And on that play, an error on the pitcher, allowing the Cubs to tie it in the 8th. They would get 2 more to take the lead. When Houston struck back in the top of the 9th. This will do it. And the Astros win game 2. A 7-pitch 9th for Mark Melanson. The Cubs now a season worst 7 games under 500. Now the Cubs have played some ugly ball games, but tonight, Bob, they had a nice comeback in the 8th, and the last thing we expected was Carlos Marmol to have his worst night of the year, but they all hurt. This one hurts a little bit more.
Yeah, there have been very few sure things with the Cubs over the last couple of years, but the overwhelming majority of the time when Carlos Marmol goes out there to the mound, he's going to get the job done. Just had an off night tonight, and the Astros made him pay dearly.
Well, we are going to give the GMC player of the game to the starter, Carlos Zambrano. And I think an honorable mention goes to his counterpart, Jordan Lyles, a 20-year-old who was very good in his major league debut. But Z tonight, 8 innings, 1 run, kept his team in the game all night.
Didn't walk a batter. This was just a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel under offensive conditions here at Wrigley Field. Tip of the cap to Big Z tonight, as well as Jordan Lyles.
So the Cubs will try to salvage a finale of this homestand tomorrow and of this series. 3-5 to start the stay through 8. That's going to do it for our game coverage. Stay tuned for cool.